Hey, welcome back to the channel. You're watching Duty's Daggers. My name's Kevin. Before we start, I promise you're going to like the video, so just go ahead and subscribe now. And follow me on Instagram at duties_daggers. You will be very happy that you did it. So today, I'm going to be showing you guys 5 knives that I have been absolutely obsessed with this month. It's been a good month for me as far as getting knives that I really like. So I feel like I wanted to do a video on 5 of them. If you've been following along with my videos, you will probably have seen some or all of these knives before. But I'm hoping at least there's some new folks out there watching. And if you're new, you probably haven't seen these before. So, are you ready? Let's do it. Let's start out with this one. This is the Tucson TS300. If you're not familiar with Tucson, they are an overseas manufacturer that uses a lot of titanium, a lot of good steel like 14C28N, sometimes D2, sometimes higher end steels as well. A lot of titanium frame locks, a lot of really good designs, and the prices are very good. This knife here, although it may look much more expensive, is only around $100. It's a titanium frame lock. Like I said, we have a beautiful and well-working clip, titanium milled clip. We have really cool looking pivots here, kind of just almost like a futuristic kind of angular looking knife. There is contouring. You can see there's 3 different flat spots here, which provides kind of a roundness to the scale here. There's only one means of deployment, which is the reverse flick, or you can actually thumb flick it using this hole here. As a result of that, there's no flipper tab sticking out or anything to get in the way, so this thing is really sleek and slides in your pocket really well. So we have the reverse flick. Works really well. This thing falls shut, and you can also thumb flick it as well. Really good action on this guy. We have a mean looking Tonto blade. We have a hollow grind down here, and then it's a little bit thicker up here, which is how it should be. You have a strong tip for scraping, maybe some light prying, and then you have your nice thin sharp edge down here for slicing. We got a little choke up spot here, so you can get nice and close to that edge. Very comfortable, surprisingly, kind of. At first glance, you might think this knife wouldn't be comfortable, but I'm telling you, it is. You can choke up right here, or you can even hold it back here if you want. Both are really actually very comfortable. 14C28N blade steel. This thing is just mean looking and really affordable, and it's a really good knife for the price. All right. Next, let's talk about this little guy. I have not been able to stop fidgeting with this thing. This is the Civivi Lumi. It's a very sleek little kind of light, compact carry. This titanium pocket clip I added on aftermarket. The clip it comes with is fine. It's a deep carry clip, but I just like the look of this titanium one better. We have gray G10 handle scales. We have full steel liners. And the only way to open this knife is with this little top flipper right here, which you can either use like a regular front flipper. Man, look how fast that blade just pops right out. I love the action on this knife so much. It's so easy to do. All you do, you don't even have to push really hard. You just put your thumb up there and just gently roll it back, and the blade just flies out. But probably my favorite way to open the knife is this way. It's just, man, there's something so satisfying about being able to do that. If I have some detail work or something I need to do, I'll open the knife like this. Then my pointer finger's already out here, so I can grab it, brace up here, put some nice pressure into the point, do whatever kind of nice little, detail work that I need to do. And I mean, speaking of detail work, this thing has a very thin blade, very pointy blade. This thing is probably a really good wood carver. I don't do a lot of that, but I'm sure it would do really well. This thing absolutely destroys letters, packages. It's just a really sweet little office carry, or a carry where you want something light and slim. Maybe you're wearing basketball shorts or something like that. You don't want a big heavy knife weighing you down. This thing is really, really, really fun. It's just snappy. I love opening this knife and closing it. The action closing isn't fall shut or anything. You just close it with your finger and you pop it out again. And you do that about 100 times a day because it's just so damn fun. The Civivi Lumi. This knife is about $50. I'll try to link all of these knives below, the ones that are available. All right, next let's talk about something on the higher end. This is the Chavez Scapegoat. This knife is actually relatively hard to find. I was lucky enough to have it come up on the secondary market for a decent price, and I was able to pick one up. So Chavez is obviously a knife designer and maker. He typically does custom knives, but he also has production run knives like this one that are made overseas by Riot, which is widely considered to be one of the best overseas manufacturers because they do such a darn good job. So he has these production knives that is made overseas, and they cost a little less, but they are still very, very high quality. This knife costs new around, I think around $335, I believe. So, I mean, that might seem like a lot to you guys, but, I mean, this thing is just built so freaking well. We have two thick slabs of titanium that the blade is sandwiched in between. There's no milling on the inside, so this thing is pretty darn heavy, but look at this mean-ass blade. Oh, baby, look at that. Ugh. I mean, you're paying for the construction and the quality, the build quality of the knife, but you're also paying for the design of the knife. And, the design of this knife is it's so unique. Once you get to know Chavez knives, you will, as soon as you see this, in a millisecond, you know that this is a Chavez. It's a very unique look. Just, it's tanky, it's beefy. This thing fills out the hand so well. It feels so good gripping this thing. We have his signature skull clip here, which I happen to like, but if you don't, when you buy the knife, it comes with a plain one as well. Titanium frame lock, obviously. The blade steel we're looking at is M390, and look at that grind, man. It's just so, so clean. Looks so, so good. The edge on it is wicked, wicked sharp. We have a nice satin on the flat up here. Huge, huge finger choil. Usually you don't see them this deep. This is a very deep finger choil. And let me tell you, when you're choked up like this, it feels so, so good. I can't even, just so good. There's nothing hurting my hand at all. There's nothing poking me. You just feel so locked in and just ready to put this thing to work. The general feeling that I get from this knife when I have it in my hand is put it to work. It's telling me, use me, cut things with me, put me to work. It's so solid. And check this out. Oh, baby. Absolute fall shut action. You can't ask for anything better than that. One of the best, smoothest knives that I've ever had. One of them. Excuse me. So only thumb studs here. The thumb stud action is very good. And you can also reverse flick off of the thumb stud. My finger kind of hurts, so it's kind of hard for me to do right now. But pretty easy to do. Oof. Man, this thing is just mean. This is the Chavez Scapegoat. All right, let's get to the next one. This is the Rough Rider. It's just a Rough Rider hawkbill knife. And the reason why this is on the list is because I bought this a while back just because I've never owned a knife like this. It's got a crazy hawkbill blade shape, and I just want to check it out. Rough Rider knives are very cheap knives. This was less than $15. I'll link it down below if you want to go take a look. But the build quality you get for the money is actually surprisingly good with Rough Rider knives. So occasionally when I don't have a very big knife budget and I want a new knife, I go take a look at the Rough Riders and see what they got. So I wanted to check this one out. I wasn't sure what I was going to use it for exactly, and turns out this thing is an absolute package destroyer. I mean, if you've been watching my videos the past couple weeks, you will tell in my unboxings I only use this to open up packages now because, man, this thing just absolutely tears into things. It's crazy. You know, the build quality is pretty decent. We have a half stop. The pull isn't super, there isn't much resistance. There is up here, but not when you close it. We have kind of a bone kind of handle. I don't think it's real bone, but we do have brass bolsters, brass liners, and then the stainless steel. Nice reflective finish on the blade. I think it looks really good. It's not made of the best steel. I think it's just 440 stainless. Yeah, 440. But, as long as you're just opening packages with this, doing light tasks, it's really not going to matter too much. You'll have to sharpen it occasionally or fairly often, but, who cares? For less than $15, you really can't go wrong. If you want a knife to tear into packages, tear into whatever you need to tear into, this hawkbill blade shape really, really works well. All right, we're down to the last knife, number 5, and probably the crown jewel of my collection, and a knife that I just got recently, the Sharp by Design Apex. Now, I'm going to try to keep it brief because I could talk for a pretty long time about all the things I love about this knife. If you want to know more about it, I will put a link right up there in the corner of the video that will take you to my full review of the knife. But this knife is incredible. We have full titanium construction except for these inlays, which are a blue anodized aluminum. And the way these inlays are put in here are virtually seamless. I mean, you don't feel any of the ridges here with your fingernail. Slightly right there, but I mean, they just did such a good job. This is made by Riyot and designed by Brian Nadeau at Sharp by Design. The flipping action on this knife is it's unparalleled with anything else I've ever experienced. We have a big opening here for the reverse flick or the flipper tab. Yeah. It's hard for me to not just keep talking about it, but I'm going to try to keep it short. There are mysteries and secrets in this knife that are not present in any other knife. Brian has patented certain things about this knife that make it as good as it is, and that's all I'll really say. If you want to know more, go watch the full review. This thing is just fantastic. It's a Tonto blade shape, hollow grind down here, very thin behind the edge, a little thicker up here, just unbelievably sharp. Just a really good looking blade. Look at those grinds. I love this area here where they all kind of intersect and the light, jumps off them in different ways. Really cool pivot area. The clip is okay. I kind of wish the clip was a little bit better, but it's really the only thing I have negative to say about the knife. Steel lock bar insert, and look at this action, baby. Oh, it's just glassy smooth. On the Chavez, the weight of the blade kind of has something to do with how well it falls down. This has extremely good action either way, but it's almost even more impressive on this knife because it's a much lighter blade and it still just glides down, just so glassy. That's the best way to describe it. It's snappy when you're opening it. Oh, it's just so good. This knife new, is around $375. I traded a knife plus some cash for it, used, but it was barely used, and I am just unbelievably happy with it. So let's get all of them out here. That was the Sharp by Design Apex. We had the Chavez Scapegoat. We had the Rough Rider Hawkbill. We had the Civivi Lumi. And then we had the Tucson TS300. 5 really, really good knives, each in their own way. And that'll about do it. Thanks for watching, guys. I do have a Patreon. It's linked down below if you feel like going to check it out. I also have links down below for these knives as well as other knives that I recommend. If you use the links, it helps out the channel a little bit. So if you feel like buying something, go see if I have a link for it. And yeah, that'll do it. I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Adios.